Hello students, welcome to our today's video lesson. In the last video lesson we have discussed up to atomic mass and isotopes, mass number, atomic number. So in this video lesson I will discuss with you the electronic configuration. What is electronic configuration? Electronic configuration is a distribution of electrons in different shells around the nucleus of the atom of an element is called electronic configuration. When we distribute the electrons in different shells around the nucleus of an element, atom of an element is called electronic configuration. This electronic configuration is done on the basis of Bohr-Bury scheme. Niels Bohr has given a method of electronic configuration. On that basis electronic configuration is done. As all of you know, in the last video class and online class I have discussed with you about the different shells and the number of electrons that are present in different shells, maximum number of electrons. Suppose the different shells are K, L, M, N. Okay. It is the first, it is the second, it is the third shell, it is the fourth shell. So many shells are also there. Total 8 shells are there. So number of electrons in each shell is given by the formula 2n square. That means 2 into 1 square, that is equal to 2. Here 2 into 2 square, it is equals to 8. 2 into 3 square, it is equal to 18. And 2 into 4 square, 16 to the 32. So maximum number of electrons that can be arranged in each shell is K shell is 2, L shell is 8, M shell is 18 and N shell is 32. Now on the basis of this Bohr-Bury scheme, what is this? Bohr-Bury scheme is totally depend upon two rules. One is the number one rule is the called the duplet rule. Okay. And second is the octet rule. Duplet rule and octet rule. Okay. Duplet rule is applicable for only the K shell, because in K shell only maximum number of electron that can be filled, that is 2. So this duplet rule is applicable only for hydrogen and helium. Okay, because if I say hydrogen is having only one atomic number, so it is number of electron K shell is 1 and configuration is 1. Whereas in helium, if we say the atomic number is 2, so K shell is equal to 2. Okay, but other than all other for all other elements, the octet rule is provided to us. Octet rule means in a shell not more than 8 electrons can be adjusted at a time. Okay. Suppose if I write the atomic number of sodium is 11. So in K, L, M, and if we write, it is addresses 2, 8 and 1. So after 8 electrons, 1 electron is given to M shell. Similarly, if you say about potassium, if I write potassium K, its atomic number is 19. That means 2, 8, 8, 1. We can give more than 8 electrons in M shell, because in M shell there are 18, maximum number of electrons that can be given is 18. So why not we have taken 9 here? Because according to the octet rule, we have to give 8 electrons once in a shell, not more than that. So that 1 electron that is left is given to the N shell. Similarly, if you say calcium whose atomic number is 20, so it also gives 2, 8, 8, 2. Again see, N shell, it has M shell, it is given 8 electrons, and the rest of the 2 electrons is given to the N shell. So configuration is 2, 8, 8, 2. So on the basis of electronic octet rule and duplet rule, Niels Bohr has given this scheme of arranging the different number of electron in each shell, and that is distribution of number of electron in shell is called electronic configuration, and is totally depend on the Niels Bohr scheme, that is called Bohr-Bury scheme. Okay, and the scheme is the octet rule and duplet rule. Okay. So in this, on the basis of this electronic configuration, you can also draw the atomic structure also. Okay, you can also draw the atomic. If you draw the atomic structure like this, for sodium, if you draw Na, the atomic structure is, its configuration is 281. Okay, so if you draw the structure, how will you draw? And the center is the nucleus. It is proton and neutron is there. First shell, second shell, and this is the third shell. You need only 3 shells are for configuration of sodium. That is for M shell. The M shell, it is having 2 electrons. In the L shell, it is having 8 electrons. So fill the 8 electrons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and there is 1 electron in the M shell. So you can give 1 electron anywhere in the M shell. In this way, you can draw the atomic structure of sodium. Okay. So similarly, if you want to draw the atomic structure of any element, first of all you have to know the electronic configuration. Okay. In this way, you can draw the atomic structure of all elements. You have to remember up to 20 at least, the atomic number of first 20 elements, their their electronic configuration, then only you will be able to draw the atomic structure also. So again I will say, this is based on Bohr-Bury scheme, which says that atoms and molecules, electrons are arranged in different shells on the basis of octet rule and duplet rule. Okay. Now, what is valency? You know, all of you, valency means the combining capacity of an atom of an element. Valency means combining capacity. Valency means combining capacity, okay, of an atom of an element is called valency. So valency can be given from the, again, if you know the electronic configuration, from that you can derive the valency also. Suppose hydrogen configuration is 1, so its valency is also 1. Helium is having 2 configuration, so its valency is 2. Why? Because outermost shell is completely filled, helium. Okay. Now if I write carbon C, its configuration is 2, 4, so its valency is also 4. So the number of valence electron is also taken as valency if it is only 1, 2 or 3. But if it is more than 3, that means we have to use the formula n minus 8. So for carbon also we have to do n minus 4, 4 minus 8, that is equal to minus 4. So it is non-metal. Negative valency means non-metal, but we don't write the negative valency like this. But just to make you understand, I have shown this. Okay. Similarly, if you take an example of aluminium, so the atomic number is 13, so its configuration is 2, 8, 3. Okay, so its valency again 3, because number of valence electron is 3 here, so its valence is also taken as 3. But if it is more than 3, then you have to do the process that I have shown you. The formula is, suppose oxygen, if you take its atomic number is 8, configuration is 2 6, that means valence is equal to n minus 8, that is equal to 6 minus 8, that is equal to minus 2. The valency of oxygen is 2. Again, it is a non-metal. Whereas aluminum is a metal which is having positive valency. So in this way we can find the valency of an element. Okay, on the basis of this electronic configuration. Okay. Or from the chemical formula also you can derive the valency. Now you know what are molecules, all of you know. Atoms are mostly unstable. They combine with other atoms of to form a molecule. Suppose molecule is the smallest particle of matter that is capable of independent existence but does not take part in a chemical reaction. So if you write a symbol of hydrogen, that is H. If you say about the symbol of hydrogen, that is H, but molecular formula of hydrogen is H2. Why? Because the atom of hydrogen does not exist independently. They always exist in combined. Okay, so molecular symbol of hydrogen is H, but molecular formula of hydrogen is H2. Okay, it is H2. I will show you why it is H2. When I will teach you the chemical bond, I will show you why it is H2. Similarly, so many molecular formula of obviously hydrogen it is. Similarly, chlorine, if you write, it is also Cl2. Okay, oxygen, if you write, it is O2, like this. Okay, so molecular formula we have to mention a number of atoms also, but for a symbol only we don't write the number of atoms. Okay, so this is the molecule and molecular formula and molecules of an element shows. Now the next is chemical bond. Next topic is today's is chemical bond. Chemical bond means it is a force or a link between the atoms of different element to combine together and become stable. Okay, so chemical bond is a link formed between atoms when they combine chemically. This link is called chemical bond, or we can link is having some force between them. They call chemical bond. Okay, this chemical bond is of two types. We will study here only two types, but it is more than that. We will see only the basic thing of this chemical bond in this class. In details, we will study in class 9, 10 again, not now. So chemical bond is of two types. One is electrovalent bond and another is covalent bond. Okay, electrovalent means only transfer of electrons, whereas covalent bond sharing of electrons. Okay, means electrons are shared. How this happens, we will see by example. So whenever an element lose electron, it forms, the electropositive ion, that is called cations. When an element lose electron, that electron is gained by another element. That element form the anions and is called electronegative ion, that is anion. So two things we have to remember here in the electrovalent bond. One is electropositive ion, that is called cations. Another is electronegative ion, that is called anions. Okay. So very simple example if you take to understand this electropositive electron ion, we have to take sodium chloride. To take very common example, sodium chloride. Sodium is Na, and chlorine is Cl. So the atomic number of sodium is 11, and we have seen the configuration is 281. But in a chlorine, atomic number is 17 and configuration is 287. That means sodium is having one electron in outermost shell, and this is having only 7 electrons in outermost shell. Okay. So what happened? Always an element lose or gain electron to achieve its nearest configuration of nearest noble gas. So the nearest noble gas to the sodium is the neon. So it will achieve the electron configuration of neon by having the configuration 28, because the atomic number of neon is 10, configuration is 28, and it is very close to the sodium. So it will achieve the configuration of neon. That means sodium will, if sodium lose one electron, then only it will achieve 28. Okay. So this one electron it will transfer to chlorine. Okay, it will transfer to chlorine, and this chlorine will gain one electron to become the configuration of nearest noble gas, that is argon, whose atomic number is 18 and configuration is 288. That means sodium becomes now Na plus and chlorine becomes Cl minus, 1 plus 1 minus, and its configuration becomes 288 and its configuration becomes 28. Okay. So now sodium transfer electron, whereas means it's lose electron, whereas chlorine gain electron. So this is called, when transfer of electron takes place, it is called electrovalent bond. Now see about the covalent bond. Covalent bond not always takes place between two or more element or radicals. Sometimes a single element also forms a covalent bond. Suppose we have seen the molecular formula of hydrogen, right? It's H2. Why it is H2? Because if hydrogen is having 2 H2, its configuration is 1 1, it is having 1 1 electrons between them, configuration is 1. So if this hydrogen lose 1 electron, it will become 2, but it will become 0. That means 0, it cannot be happen, otherwise it will not become stable. So what will happen? Both of these will share 1 1 electron between them, and this forms ultimately H2. Similar example, if you take water, H2O. So HO and 2. What is the configuration of hydrogen is 1, configuration of oxygen is 2 6, and again is 1. So hydrogen is having only 1 electron in its outermost shell, oxygen is having 6, 1 2 3 4, 5, 6, and again this hydrogen is having 1. So what we will see here, if this hydrogen gain 1 electron, then it will become the configuration of helium, nearest noble gas. This also same thing. And this oxygen, to achieve nearest noble configuration of noble gases, that is neon, so it will gain, it has to gain 2 electrons. If it get 2 electrons from these two hydrogen by transfer, if the hydrogen transfer, they become nil, which cannot be possible. So what will happen if oxygen give 1 electron to this two hydrogen? It will become 2 4. That cannot be possible. It will not become stable. So ultimately what they will do, they will share 1 electron between them. They will share 1 electron between them. Okay. To become, the configuration is 2, it will become 2 8, and it will also become 2. So in this way, by sharing of electrons, they form the hydrogen water compound of water, that is H2O. Similarly, we can show so many examples of this covalent bond. It is also given in your book of why F2 is formed, fluorine. Again, they are sharing 1 electron between them. Then it is given the carbon dioxide, CO2. Here also 1 electron of carbon and hydrogen, they are oxygen, they are sharing between them. Sorry, 2. By sharing 2 electrons between carbon and oxygen, they form carbon dioxide. So this is about the chemical bonds. So chemical bonds, I hope you have understood. I have shown you in the online class also. Again, I have shown in the video lesson. I hope all of you, after watching this video and attending the online class, you have understood the chemical bond and the previous thing that and the Bohr-Bury scheme of doing electronic configuration. So thank you students for watching this video. See you again in the next video lesson. In that we will discuss some question and answers. After that we will also move to the new chapter, that is language of chemistry. Thank you very much. See you again.